Let's have a look at question 3a, which is all about machine learning and artificial intelligence. It's quite a nice question, this one. It says a bank is using a machine learning algorithm, so that's a type of artificial intelligence, to determine the creditworthiness of people applying for a loan. So creditworthiness means the bank says, yes, I approve you for a loan, or the bank says, no, I'm not going to give you a loan. In the past, that's done by a person, a bank manager, who looks at you, who looks at your bank account, who looks at how well you paid your mobile phone bill, how well you paid your credit card history, and decides whether or not they trust you. The bank thinks that the bank manager is far too expensive. It wants to employ AI, machine learning, to save a lot of money. And it thinks that it can do it in a much fairer way. Maybe it's had issues with the bank manager in the past, giving loans to their friends, or being particularly biased, and it thinks a computer is going to be much fairer. So we'll see. Describe 3 marks, how a machine learning algorithm is taught. So I'll show you now using Google Teachable Machine. I've set up a classification here. So machine learning has a way of classifying outcomes, like separating out into 1 or 2 or 3 different categories. And I've said I'm going to approve people for a loan who look like this, and I'm going to deny people for a loan who look like this. So I'm not being, well, this is sexist. I hope I'm not sexist in real life, but I hope that this proves a point that if your input data is biased, then your algorithm is going to be biased. So we would train up machine learning by giving it classifications. This is supervised learning because we tell it what conclusions to draw itself. Remember, you also need to be aware of unsupervised learning, where it makes its own conclusions. But usually for this kind of thing, you'd tell it what you want it to find, you'd give it training data and tell it to go and make its conclusions. So then we go on to say, well, the bank discovers the algorithm unfairly discriminates against certain individuals, and we need to give 2 reasons for this algorithmic bias. Bias means unfairly penalizing or unfairly favoring certain types of people. So you can see here there's 2 reasons why this is going to give an unfair model. One is because I've got a limited training set. I've only given it 3 pictures. I want to give it thousands of pictures if I want to make it more unbiased or less biased. Another reason is, well, my training data itself is biased. I've only got pictures of men to be approved for a card or a loan, and I've only got pictures of women to deny a loan. And that's unfair. And if the training data is biased, then the whole artificial intelligence machine learning model is biased. And we could also put in a third possible reason that it's fairly limited. I haven't given it any training data to respond to pictures of cats. This is maybe unfairly penalising cats. It's saying they can't get a loan. But let's try it with some other pictures. We put this other picture in here. Then it thinks that this person would be approved for a loan. Let's go for picture number 2. Now this is purely based on the training data set. The artificial intelligence model, the machine learning model, has not seen this person before, but from its training, it thinks that it probably would just about approve this loan, but it's not too sure. But when it comes across a cat, I don't know why it's decided. There's no accountability here. We can't trace back the decision-making process. It's all inside this machine learning model from its training data set. So to summarize, we're going to get bias from a reduced training set, not enough data. We're going to get bias from biased data itself, and we're going to get bias if we don't think about all of the possible different types of data we want to train with in the first place.